to Missouri at 7 o'clock Eastern Saturday on ESPN2. To ask a question for Coach Muschamp, please press *1 on your telephone keypad now. Coach, while we wait on those questions, you can take a moment to comment on your team as you enter the Missouri game on Saturday.
We're looking forward to going to Columbia, Missouri, and playing a really good Missouri team. And on Saturday night, I'll open up for any questions.
First, we have John Christ of Saturday Down South.
Hello.
To play that game, what was that like to sort of witness as the coach after all he's gone through?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the first part of your question.
I was asking about Sky Moore and about how he finally had a chance to get back on the field after the injury concerns that he had that forced him to miss a year.
Okay. Extremely happy and pleased for him. I mean, I think that you come in through a coaching change. Here's a guy that, really thought about coming out for the NFL draft and decides to come back and going through an all-season program, having some numbness in his shoulder and his neck and not really sure what it is. And it's a herniated disc, as it turns out. It's had to be operated on. He has to sit out for really and did nothing for about 4 months. Couldn't do anything. Continued to stay in school and earned his degree this August. So he's graduated from the University of South Carolina. But to go through spring with him and then see him cut it loose a couple times and really enjoy that aspect of it, because he loves playing football. And it's very difficult for a young man to have something taken away from them that's so important to him. And to know how difficult it was, he doesn't always express himself verbally as far as, but you could see the frustration throughout the last year with him and those sort of things, and then thinks about coming out again and decides to come back, and I think makes a very mature decision to come back to school, and obviously got his diploma, and just really proud of him, how he's worked. He's an extremely intelligent player, very smart, very instinctive, and a guy that's a really good football player. You don't lead a university in tackles for 3 years and start as a true freshman if you're not a really good football player. So we're excited about him moving forward, and I'm glad he's a Gamecock.
Now, Coach, Saturday was his first time playing in your defense, but as you said previously, he's used to being the top tackler on his team. Does he basically have the same role, or things changed up a little bit as you coach?
No, it's South Carolina's defense. It's not mine. And he's a really good player, and he made a bunch of plays for us on Saturday. We got winded. We should have rested him earlier in the game. We didn't forecast playing 99 snaps, or really over 100 if you take away the penalty snaps. So we needed to sub he and several other players earlier in the game to keep them more fresh as the game wore on. But no, he's a playmaker, and he'll make plays. He'll make plays in any defense.
Thank you, Coach.
Next is David Cloninger, Post and Courier.
Hey, Will.
Hey.
Have you guys discussed any contingency plans for the Missouri travel or the Kentucky game with Hurricane Irma closing in?
Well, we have not. We don't feel like the travel should be affected based on, I talked to Coach Tanner this morning, that they're working on it right now. I'm working on game plan for Missouri. They're a really explosive offensive football team, so we haven't gotten that far down the road. I'm concerned about Missouri right now.
Thanks.
Next is Todd Palmer, the Kansas City Star.
Hey, Coach. Just curious, how it feels like this game could set the trajectory for both Missouri and South Carolina. I mean, how critical do you think this game is for an early season test?
Well, it's an important game because it's an SEC East game. It's a conference game and a division game, and it counts for one. It's a long season. It's one game, and that's no different than what I said before the NC State game. It counts as one game, and we're going to prepare the right way and hopefully play extremely well and coach extremely well.
You got a pretty good young quarterback there, but I was curious, after watching the film, what do you see in terms of Drew Lock's progression from year to year, and how difficult a matchup does he present?
Well, he can make all the throws. He can make the short, intermediate, and he throws the deep ball extremely well. He's thrown it to some very skilled players in Javon Moore, Demetrius Mason, Jonathan Johnson. He's got two really good backs behind him, and some tight ends that are very difficult to match up with. So he's throwing it to really good people that, maybe a 5-yard hitch and one missed tackle at 65 yards like it was on the first play of the game last week. So they're extremely skilled, and he can make all the throws. He's got a Sunday arm.
Next is Dave Matt of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
Hey, Will, where have you seen growth from your offense since you took over the program?
Well, I think because of, last year I kept saying we got some talent. We just got to get some experience to go with it. And I think that's where we've taken the next step from an experience standpoint. We have a quarterback that can get us in and out of bad looks, which happened several times the other day against in our first ball game. But he's also got really good skill people around him and a tremendously improved offensive line. So I think those areas would probably be where I would say we've taken a step forward.
Thanks. Coach, I'll finish you up with Dwayne Rankin of the Montgomery Advertiser.
On sideline warnings, but I went back and looked at you guys play by play, and one was called within the first drive of the game. Did you think that it would be that much, that many called in a week one?
Dwayne, I'm sorry, I missed the first part of your question. What'd you say?
Well, Coach, I was saying that they placed the emphasis on sideline warnings, and it was a whole lot, plenty of them called in this week one, and the one in you guys' game was in the first drive of the game. Did you think going in that many sideline warnings would be called in the first week of the season?
I believe it was NC State got the sideline warning. It wasn't South Carolina.
They did. I didn't say you guys did. I just said it came in. It was NC State. I was just curious. Did you think that many would be called because it was one in the Alabama game, one in the Arkansas game, it was one in a couple other games as well? Did you sense going in that it would be called that much to start the season?
Well, no, because our sideline is perfectly well behaved in every game.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. You have a great day.
Thank you, Coach.